So I've not been back here for 30 years. In fact, the last time I was here, I was over in that corner drinking Snakebite and Black, smoking Marlboro Reds and dancing very badly to Wham. I studied economics and sociology here. There's evidence. It was a great university. I had a thrilling time, and I left with a very poor degree to join advertising, an industry I loved. I was fortunate enough to work for Ogilvy and Leo Burnett. I worked on some great clients, Unilever, Ford, Sky, creating some really great TV campaigns and working with some incredibly talented people that I really enjoyed. Apologies for having notes. My ADHD doesn't allow me to be as competent as the other speakers. So one of the things that I noticed when I was at Ogilvy was actually how technology was changing the communications industry. And there's a reason I'll come back to this later. But technology made campaigns infinitely more measurable and cheaper, something that the advertising industry desperately needed at the time. And that insight led me to create my own digital agencies, which I did quite successfully working with Virgin Media and O2. But I'm here today to talk about a different challenge, education. Now, I believe in the power of education to transform our society. I think it can enable us to be the very, very best version of ourselves. And I believe that you guys are really fortunate to be at one of the best universities in the UK. It might not be the most academic, but it's certainly got, in my view, the best architecture. However, there is now a disconnect between the skills that you're learning here and the skills that are needed in the workplace. In fact, the CMI, which is the Chartered Management Institute, recently published a piece of research that said that 80% of employers feel that you guys don't have the right skill set for a successful career. Now, if you consider that, if 5 of you are sitting together, that means 4 of you haven't got the skills that you need or that employers want. And it's not the fault of the institutions. Technology and changes in the workplace have affected the skills that you need. Mark Carney, back in 2018, when he was governor of the Bank of England, said that AI would have a fundamental impact on the professional services industry in the UK. He believed that up to 15 million jobs would be impacted directly by AI. If you want to read it, the article is AI and the Global Economy. Now, if you think about what's happening today, look, I mean, recently the government announced that for breast scans, breast cancer scans, whereas you used to have 3 technicians reviewing a scan, you only now need 1 and a computer. Now, that's because the machine can do it quicker, more efficiently, and with a greater efficiency than a technician could do it prior. Now, that's great for the patient. It's less so if you want a career as a technician. And it's affecting other industries as well. If we think about law, why would you employ a graduate to proofread, to research, to write up contracts when a machine can do it faster, quicker, more efficiently, and at a much lower cost? And as a COVID generation, you faced a unique set of challenges. Oh, hang on, that's gone back. COVID had a big impact on your education, and its shadow continues to stay over you. Back in the day, in the 90s, I was expected to be in the office 5 days a week, sometimes even at weekends if we were pitching for a new client. Today, you're not going to be in the office 5 days a week. You're going to be working from home a lot of the time, and that creates a different dynamic. It changes your personal and professional growth. It means socially it'll be different from when I went to work. But also it means that you won't see and learn from people who are doing the same job as you. So that's a key thing when you're watching somebody and learning from somebody when you're beside them, rather than being at home and interacting with them on Zoom. So what does this all mean for you? Well, it basically means that you need a new skill set. But the good news is it's a skill set that you can achieve. So you need intelligence, adaptability, to be able to navigate the changing environment. We have identified 10 skills which we feel will help you in your future careers. Teamworking. So the world is now more interconnected. There are different life experiences and viewpoints, and you need different solutions to be efficient and effective. Critical thinking enables you to do this. It means you actively challenge people, but you do it in a productive way to get the best out of them and the best out of yourselves. Problem solving. In an interconnected world, we need to handle new and different situations. Unexpected problems will become a part of your daily life. Communication. Effective communication, the ability to share ideas, connect with others, build relationships, teamwork and trust will build your knowledge base and inform your life choices. Self-management. As I've already said, you're going to be working from home. That means you need to be able to manage yourself and your own time in a way that I never had to. Because you're not going to have somebody there that's going to be able to look after you and tell you what to do and when to do it. So you've got to make those calls. Emotional intelligence, or EQ. Now, it's interesting that 90% of the people, of the high earners in the UK, have actually got an incredibly high EQ. And that's no coincidence. But what's really interesting is, unlike IQ, EQ can be taught. So you have the ability to get better at it. And what EQ enables you to do is handle situations in the office differently, handle conflict differently, enables you to control your emotions and the way you deal with others. Resilience. This is something very, very core to me. Resilience is about building the strength to help you with your mental health, to be able to deal with anxiety and depression differently, so that you can have a really fulfilled work life, which then builds and makes a really fulfilled personal life. Innovation and creativity. Well, as the world changes, you guys need to be more innovative. You need to think about things outside the box. I know that's a bit of a cliche, but it's true. You can't just stand by and do the things you did before. You've got to think about how to do things differently, to circumvent the machine, to how to build your career. Digital challenge. Today it's AI. But that's not going to be the problem tomorrow. We don't know what tomorrow's problem is going to be. But you need to be able to work with whatever that problem is, not by putting it up as an obstacle, but by taking it as a benefit and looking at the good that that technology might bring. Finally, entrepreneurship. Before this talk, I asked a very senior mate of mine in finance, and I showed him the presentation. He said, well, why are you talking about entrepreneurship? They're not going to be the next Bezos or Musk or Zuckerberg in the audience. And I think he misses the point. David Ogilvy, as I said, I worked for his company, once said that if we employ people that are smaller than us, less intelligent than us, not as good as us, we shall become a company of dwarves. If we employ people that are better than us, bigger than us, have grander ideas than us, then we shall become a company of giants. And I think David was talking about entrepreneurship. Because it's a different mindset. It's a can-do attitude, and it's learning, most importantly, from failure. Because if you're an entrepreneur or anything, you will fail at some point. And it's nothing wrong with that, but it's about learning from that. That's what makes you better. So to conclude, enjoy your time here. Work hard. I didn't. Get a career that you enjoy and become the best versions of yourselves. Because I think with the right training, the right experience, that a degree might be enough. It might be that stepping stone to a successful professional and personal life. Thank you.